Welcome back, students. Welcome to the class. So today we will discuss the various definitions in case of thermochemistry. So first we will look at the standard enthalpy of formation of a compound. The standard enthalpy formation or standard heat of formation of a compound is the change of enthalpy or heat at constant pressure that is produced or consumed when 1 mole of the substance is formed from its constituent elements with such that all the substance are present in their standard state. The standard pressure value is 1 bar, that is 10 power 5 Pascal, okay, as given by the IUPAC. And before that I think 1 atmospheric is being used, but these values are very nearby. For a gas, the hypothetical state it would have, assuming if it obeyed any ideal situation, when the pressure is 1 bar and temperature is 298. We will take temperature 298, okay. For a solute present in an ideal solution, the concentration is actually 1 molar, okay, such that the pressure is 1 bar and temperature is obvious 298. For a pure substance or a solvent in a condensed state, okay, condensed state means either in a liquid form or in a solid form. The process is called as condensation also. The standard state is in the pure liquid or pure solid at a pressure of 1 bar and at temperature of 298. For an element, the form in which the element is most stable under 1 bar pressure, okay, one such exception is the phosphorus, for which the most stable form at 1 bar is black phosphorus, but white phosphorus is taken as standard form for the enthalpy of formation of the compound. Okay, so look at that. Phosphorus white form, the enthalpy is taken as what? The enthalpy is taken as 0. Are you okay with that or not? Sure about that? So that you have to understand that. Okay, so I am repeating once more. If you have sulfur 8, that is rhombic form, its standard enthalpy is taken 0. Phosphorus white, it is taken as 0. Carbon graphite taken as 0. Hydrogen in gaseous state taken as 0. Deuterium also taken as 0. Now difference between hydrogen and deuterium is that both of them are isotopes, okay. They are not allotropes, they are isotopes. Therefore for both its value is 0, okay. For chlorine, for gaseous state it is 0, but for bromine the liquid state is the standard state, so that is the 0, okay. So you have to memorize that. These things must be known to you. Now, standard enthalpy of the formation of a compound is defined as the enthalpy changes accompanying during the formation of 1 mole of the substance in the standard state from its element at 1 bar pressure and at 298 Kelvin. For example, carbon is taken in graphite form, react with oxygen to give you CO2. The standard enthalpy of formation of CO2 will be minus 393.5 kilojoule per mole. So both carbon as well as oxygen are what? They are standard state. Look at that. Nitrogen, it is the elemental state of nitrogen. Remember that nitrogen does not exist in atomic form, it exists as a molecular form, that is N2. Okay, since for ammonia only 1 atom is required, so you will take half mole of N2. It reacts with 3.5 mole of H2 to give you ammonia, and the heat release will be what? Minus 46.2 kilojoule per mole. I am repeating once more. It is minus 46.2 kilojoule per mole. Similarly, if you want to prepare calcium carbonate, okay, then what can happen? In case of calcium carbonate, calcium in solid state, carbon in solid form graphite state, and oxygen is taken, and you have formation of carbon calcium carbonate in solid state as the. So these are 3 examples of standard enthalpy of formation of a compound from the elemental state. Now look at one more example. Half N2 react with O2 to give you NO2, and enthalpy of formation is in positive. Whenever delta H is in positive, it is called as endothermic reaction. Calcium react with oxygen to give you calcium oxide. Look at negative minus 634.9 kilojoule of heat is being released at constant pressure. Look at here, carbon in graphite form, bromine in liquid state gives you CbR4, that is tetrabromomethane, and here also enthalpy of formation is endothermic in nature. Now look at that one more example. From graphite and hydrogen and oxygen, you will take what? 2 mole of carbon, 3 mole of hydrogen, it means 6 mole of hydrogen atom, and half mole of O2, it means 1 atom of oxygen has been taken to give you the compound that is called ethanol. It is called what? Ethanol. So 1 mole of ethanol is produced from the elemental state of its constituent particle, and enthalpy of formation is minus 277 kilojoule per mole. Okay, sure about that? So remember that carbon exists as graphite, hydrogen exists as H2 molecule, oxygen also exists as O2. So, and remember one more thing, for standard enthalpy for the 1 mole of the reaction, you can take fractional value of the moles. Next is enthalpy of the combustion. Enthalpy of combustion is the enthalpy changes involved when 1 mole of the substance is burned in excess of O2. For example, here methane react with oxygen to give you CO2 and H2O. Okay, sure about that? Earlier it has been told to you that fraction may also have been used in place of whole number in the balanced equation to ensure that 1 mole of substance is given to you. So you have to keep in memory that the given equation must be in a balanced form to get an accurate answer. Now standard enthalpy of combustion, as earlier we told, it is the enthalpy changes involved when 1 mole of a compound is completely burned in oxygen with all the reactants and products. They are at 1 bar pressure and 298 temperature. This is given combustion of hydrogen, formation of water from H2 is a combustible reaction. Similarly, butane react with oxygen to give you CO2 and H2O. This is the enthalpy of combustion of, you can say, butane is given to you. This is enthalpy of combustion of glucose given to you. Okay, sure about that or not? So okay. Similarly, carbon react with O2 to give you CO2. This is enthalpy of combustion of carbon. Graphite is given to you. Standard enthalpy of formation. Okay, the law of summation of heat of formation states that enthalpy of the reaction is equal to the energy of the product minus that of reactant. It means sum of the delta H formation of product minus sum of delta H of the reactants. I am repeating once more. Delta H of the reaction will be what? Delta HF of all the products and minus delta H of all the reactants. Okay, we can give you some example on that. For example, if you are given a mole of A and B mole of B to give you X mole of C plus Y mole of, you can say, D, then what is enthalpy of reaction in this case? Standard enthalpy, as you know, it is summation of what? Delta H of all the products minus enthalpy of delta H of all the reactants. So what is delta H reaction in this case? So product will be X into enthalpy of formation of what? Enthalpy of formation of C plus Y into enthalpy of formation of what? Enthalpy of formation of component D. Okay, so X mole of product C and Y mole of product D is taken here. Okay, negative. What is negative? Negative term is so minus is what? It is A mole into enthalpy of formation of A plus B into enthalpy of formation of product B. Yes or no? So products minus reactant, number of moles of product minus number of moles of reactant. Okay, that is called enthalpy of the reaction. Are you okay with this situation? Now look at the next point. It indicates 2 mole of methanol. It is what? 2 mole of methanol. Okay, it undergo combustion in oxygen to give you 2 mole of CO2 and 4 mole of water. So enthalpy of formation of CO2 and H2 is given, and you have to find out the enthalpy of formation of methanol has to be calculated. Delta H of the reaction has been given to you. So this is delta H reaction, it is given to you. So you have to find out the enthalpy of formation of the one of the reactant. The O2, the enthalpy will be 0 because O2 exists in elemental state here, and standard enthalpy of elemental state is taken as 0. Is taken as 0. Are you sure about that? So it is minus 1277 is equal to what? 2 moles of CO2 plus 4 mole of water. These are the product. 2 mole of CO2 and 4 mole of water. These are the products. Minus 2 mole of one of the reactant and oxygen, the value is 0. So you will find out the enthalpy of formation of what? Enthalpy of formation of methanol by using that. Okay, bete? So this value is very, very important. So you can find it out by solving it. Now you have to understand the factors on which the heat of the reaction depends. The heat of the reaction at constant pressure is called enthalpy. It depends upon number 1, the quantity of the reactant involved. It means if number of moles is doubled, then enthalpy is also doubled. If number of moles is half, then enthalpy also becomes half. Okay, then again the physical state of the reactant and the product. Since the latent heat is involved in the change of the state, therefore the physical state of the reactant and the product matters a lot. For example, when hydrogen react with oxygen to give you water in liquid state, enthalpy of formation is minus 285.8. But if the same substance form in gaseous medium, the enthalpy is what? 241.8. Where is the rest part go? So nearly difference is 44 kilojoule. What is that 44 kilojoule represent? It represents the energy involved in what? Phase transformation. So hence it is essential to write symbols solid, liquid and gas or aqueous medium before writing the equation. That is very, very important. Next is the allotrope modification. Whether you have taken different form of the allotrope like oxygen and ozone or allotrope of oxygen. Okay, so it means dioxygen O2 and ozone O3. They are allotrope of oxygen. Similarly, graphite, diamond, buckminster fluorines, coke. These are what? These are various allotropic form of carbon. Similarly, phosphorus white, phosphorus red and phosphorus black and plastic, they are various allotropic form of the phosphorus. So allotropic form of the element taken also matters. Why? Because one allotrope transform into another allotrope at a certain specified temperature. So the heat involved is called as heat of transition, that one form of the substance transforming into the other form of the substance. Okay, and that is called heat of transition. Then the concentration of the solution. Heat changes occurring when a solute is dissolved in a solvent to form a solution or a solution is diluted. Okay, this also involves what? That also involves the heat. Everyone knows that when water is being added to acid, water act as a base. Okay, so little bit of heat is also involved during dilution of various concentrated acid. Okay, temperature matters a lot. Temperature matters a lot here. Okay, because Kirchhoff equation has been given to us that at two different temperature you may have get different value of enthalpy. Okay, enthalpy at temperature T2 will be what? Enthalpy at temperature T1 plus this equation involving heat capacity of the substance. So it comes out to be delta H2 minus delta H1 by T2 minus T1 is equal to delta Cp. Here it is Cp. Delta Cp will be the heat capacities of the product minus heat capacities of the reactants that are involved. Okay, in place of enthalpy, if we use internal energy values, then the term heat capacity at constant pressure is being replaced by heat capacity at constant volume. So delta U2 minus delta U1 by T2 minus T1 will be delta Cv. Similarly, it will be heat capacity of the products minus heat capacities of the reactants. Now next is very, very important. That topic is what is called enthalpy of neutralization. Okay, so standard enthalpy of neutralization is the enthalpy changes involved when solution of an acid and solution of an alkali react together under standard condition to produce 1 mole of water. Okay, remember that neutralization always involved by producing per mole of water. What is that? Per mole of the water. Enthalpy changes of the neutralizations are always negative. It means heat is always produced when an acid and base react. Okay, for the reaction involving strong acids and strong bases, the value of enthalpy is always in between minus 57 to minus 58 kilojoule per mole. Okay, slight variation is there due to the even very strong acids 100% dissociation is not possible. So in many cases it is either 99% 0.2, 99.7, 99.8 like that. So even in case of strongest of the electrolyte, 100% dissociation is not always observed. That is why you have little bit variation in the energy between points kilojoules. Okay, now the enthalpy of neutralization is the change in enthalpy that occurs when one equivalent of the acid reacts with one equivalent of the base undergoing a neutralization reaction to form water and the salt. It is a special case of the enthalpy of the reaction. It is defined as the energy released with the formation of 1 mole of the water. When the reaction is carried out under condition such that temperature is 298 and pressure is 1 atmospheric, then 1 mole of the water is formed under standard enthalpy of neutralization. So heat will be mass into specific heat into delta T. So you can say that delta H can be what? Heat by number of moles. Okay, sure about that or not? Clear understood now? So you have to understand this point very well. For example, NaOH when react with HCl, it gives you NaCl plus H2O and 57.3 kilojoule of heat is being released during the process. Now, when a strong acid reacts with strong base, okay, always 1 mole of water is being formed, and the enthalpy change is always 57.3 to 58. So, in most of the cases, it may be, in some cases it may be 57.62 also, 57.52 also, 57.3 also. So it varies little bit, not much. But in case of weak acid or weak bases, the heat of the nucleation depends upon the degree of dissociation of the arid mineral acid or arid alkali. Okay, for example, HCN is a weak acid and NaOH is a strong base. So NaOH degree of dissociation is complete, but HCN, due to its weak electrolytic nature, degree of dissociation is poor. So in that case, delta H comes out to be only minus 12 kilojoule per mole. So what is enthalpy of ionization? It is 57.3 plus heat released during the course of the reaction. So 57.3 minus 12. So answer comes out to be 45.3. So 45.3 is what? It is the heat of ionization of HCN. For example, here also HCl is a strong acid and ammonium hydroxide is weak base. And in that case 51.6 kilojoule of heat is released. So you use this formula. So 57.3 plus 51.6. So what has happened? 5.7 comes out to be the enthalpy of ionization for ammonium hydroxide. Okay, sure about that or not? So HCN being a weak acid, its enthalpy of ionization is 45.3. But for the base ammonium hydroxide, the value is 5.7. So it shows you what? That the value of ionization for a weak base or a weak acid, it will depend upon nature of that particular acid or base. Are you sure about that? Then we talk about what? Enthalpy of solution. Enthalpy of solution is defined as that when a substance is dissolved in a particular type of solvent, okay, then the enthalpy changes means amount of heat either released or being absorbed when 1 mole of substance is dissolved in that particular in a specified amount of the solvent. Okay, however, if such large volume of solvent is taken, then it is called as enthalpy of solution at infinite dilution. Okay, water is actually the solvent in most of the cases because most of the ionic compounds and many of the organic compounds are soluble in water. Ionic compounds are soluble in water because they are able to dissociate as cation and anion. Okay, and most of the organic compound, if they are soluble in water, because they are able to form hydrogen bonding with the water. So these are the main causes of that. Next is the enthalpy of solution for lattice enthalpy and enthalpy of hydration. Actually, when you take an ionic compound and dissolve it in water, you undergo two processes. Number one, its lattice is being broken, and second thing, after the breaking of lattice, the cation and the anion are being attracted by the opposite dipole of the solvent, that is generally water. For example, if A plus B, okay, if dissolved in water, it will dissociate as A plus cation and B negative cation. What happens? The negative dipole of the water molecule will attract the cation, while the positive end of the dipole, that is H plus, will attract B negative towards itself. So first process will be what? Breaking of the lattice, okay, in which heat is being used, and second is that attraction between the cation and the negative dipole of the solvent, and B negative attraction with the positive end of the solvent, and this lead to the enthalpy of hydration. So that is energy released, that is the energy absorbed. So when the amount of heat release is greater than that of the lattice enthalpy, then the dissolution is exothermic in nature, and if heat of hydration is less than that of enthalpy of lattice, then the dissolution is endothermic in nature. So you have to, by this formula, you have to understand the arrangement. Next is the enthalpy of atomization. When one mole of a given substance dissociates into gaseous atoms, the enthalpy change accompanying this process are called as enthalpy of atomization. For example, H2 is a gaseous molecule, okay, dissociate to give you 2 hydrogen. Similarly, methane is a gaseous molecule, but all the 4 CH bond are being broken and carbon and hydrogen are taken apart. So what happens? 1 mole of carbon and 4 mole of hydrogen in atomic forms are obtained. That is called as enthalpy of atomization. Similarly, sodium in solid state transform into sodium in gaseous phase. That is also called as enthalpy of atomization. In the first example, enthalpy of atomization is same as that of bond dissociation enthalpy, because the given molecule is diatomic in nature. Okay, and in sodium case, that is third case, the enthalpy of atomization is same as that of what? Okay, the enthalpy of sublimation. Okay, so in first case, the enthalpy of atomization is also bond dissociation enthalpy, and in the third case, in sodium transform into gaseous phase, okay, in that case the enthalpy of atomization means it is the enthalpy of sublimation also. Why? Because sodium in solid state directly transform into gaseous state. Then we have the enthalpy of ionization. When 1 mole of a covalent compound on dissolution in water splits to produce ions in the solution, this is called as enthalpy of ionization. For example, HCl is a poor electrolyte, not a very strong electrolyte. When dissolved in water, it produces H plus aqueous and Cl negative aqueous. Okay, so this property is known as enthalpy of ionization. Next is about enthalpy of hydration. The amount of enthalpy changes involved when 1 mole of a anhydrous salt dissolved in water to give you a hydrated salt, then it is called as enthalpy of hydration. For example, copper sulfate in solid state will absorb 5 water molecule and transform into copper sulfate 5H2O. So this process of accepting 5 electrons and crystallize in its lattice itself is called as water of crystallization. Then water of hydrogenation. That when an alkene, most of the oils are alkenes, when most of the alkene treated with hydrogen, it will accept the hydrogen and it is able to transform into the corresponding alkane. Then we have the enthalpy of the allotropic transformation, that one form of the allotrope transform into another form. For example, graphite transform into diamond, or monoclinic transform into rhombic, So one form of substance transform into the other form of the substance, and during that particular change the enthalpy involved is called enthalpy of atomization, enthalpy of allotropic transformation.